The size of government has grown extensively over the last 100 years. This is especially true during the last 20. A political system once designed for the people by the people has now become intrusive and warlike, according to many critics. Classified documents released by Private Bradley Manning and Edward Snowden reveal a far different government than many Americans believed. Widespread spying on Americans and foreign leaders and citizens angered people of all political persuasions. Government waste has always been a problem. However, revelations of warehouses of brand new aircraft being scrapped and other evidence of wholesale waste have created new opposition to spending. John Whitehead is a lawyer, historian, and author who has extensively studied American history. His latest book, A Government of Wolves, discusses how government has grown. In this work, Whitehead talks about the rise of government power and intrusiveness. John Whitehead is our guest on the show today, and he's here to talk about his new book. We'll discuss how the role of the American government has changed from a government for the people to what it is today. We'll also look at what led to the rise in the powers of government, what it means to the people today, and what can be done to protect privacy. Welcome back to the program, John.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
John, what led to the dramatic increase in the size of the federal government that we see today?
Well, in my opinion, the co-joining of large corporate entities in the government where money is basically made off of expanding government. One good example is beginning in the 1980s, the Department of Defense started handing out all these assault vehicles and military equipment to police departments across the country, even very tiny police departments. And that's only continued. It's up in the billions. In fact, it slowed down a bit during George Bush's presidency, but it's zooming in the era of Barack Obama. So you have police units across the country that have maybe 20,000 citizens or less than that, and 25 policemen, but they have MRAPs, or assault vehicles with turrets on top. So the corporations make a lot of money off of that. And the same thing we see with all the...
John, are the corporations actively lobbying to get these contracts?
Oh, sure. But this started a long time ago. Again, if you study history, the five-star general, President Eisenhower, warned us in his farewell address. He says this military-industrial complex has come about, and he said it's going to do two things. It's going to destroy our freedoms and wreck our economy. So far, it is destroying our freedoms, and also with the expansive use of electronics and those kind of things, with the NSA being able to listen in on everything we do. We know now the FBI says they can turn your laptop on now, and it becomes a camera, and you don't even know it. They can turn your cell phone on, and it becomes the ultimate tracking device. They can do all this from a distance. So, Google, all the major, Facebook, they all participate. I mean, we have cases where someone does a Facebook post and they have a Secret Service agent at their door the next day saying, we need an interview. We're concerned about what you're saying. And we forget that we have a First Amendment that protects us against all that. But
John, I want to jump back real quick because you mentioned Eisenhower's farewell address, and I want to play a clip from that.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
What was the warning? Why did he make this such a stark warning?
Well, what he saw something that really troubled him. There were entities, profit-making entities, which had co-joined with when he says military, you could just say governmental or corporate state. They were making money off of warfare, and we see that now over across the world. I mean, the military empire is stretching everywhere. NSA has the Echelon program, where they have bases all over the world: Iceland, Australia, Great Britain. they've stretched an electronic concentration camp around the earth. But again, who's making the money off of that? We're paying for the installation of bases, all the technology, and the corporate entities are making a lot of money. And who pays for it? The taxpayer.
So are the American people essentially paying their taxes for their own enslavement?
Exactly. Again, before I wrote my book, A Government of Wolves, I went back and looked at Nazi Germany, and I've studied it carefully now, and I'm still reading on it. I'm shocked at the way things are moving. It parallels virtually everything that happened in Nazi Germany. And but by the way, studying Hitler was a great politician. He did everything according to polls. He was very, very popular. As early as 1933, there were newspaper articles detailing the erection and use of concentration camps for asocials, gay people, communists, later the Jewish people. And everybody thought that was okay. You got to get rid of these bad folks. They're hurting the economy or hurting German way of life. And about 5 years later, a lot of those people that thought it was a great system didn't do anything about it. But I see the same thing.
Flash forward, yeah. Flash forward to today. What are the parallels that you see in America?
Oh, the average American watches 160 hours of television a month and sits there and does nothing. When you're seeing laws passed saying you can't smoke in your own home now, people are taken to jail for growing vegetable gardens, SWAT team raids are being conducted against organic farmers. You go down the list. I mean, people are getting fined and arrested for resisting them being taxed for collecting rainwater, putting solar panels on their homes. The overcriminalization of America. It's very, very similar to what we saw in past regimes. So,
John, we're up on a break, and I want to come back and I want to talk about some solutions to these problems. I also want to discuss Obamacare and domestic spying, but we do need to take this break. Stay tuned for more. We're talking with John Whitehead right here on WHDT World News.